Adjourned. Now, Mr. Clerk, call the roll on the council meeting, please.
Councilwoman Wilson,
Here.
Councilman Williams,
Here.
Councilman Stevens,
Here.
Councilman Leon,
Here.
Councilwoman Campbell,
Present.
Vice Mayor Harris,
I'm here.
Mayor Gilbert.
I'm here.
You have a quorum.
All right, please rise for prayer and pledge of allegiance. Councilman Stevens, give us prayer.
God our Father, we thank you for your grace, your mercy towards us. We ask now that you bless us, that you keep us, you give us your knowledge, your wisdom, and your understanding as we discuss your people's business. This we ask in your son Jesus' name. Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
One
nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We're in the regular council meeting now. All right, we have minutes before us, correct?
Excuse me, Mayor, I would like to withdraw the minutes from the meeting
You
today.
want to withdraw them?
Yes,
Show them
sir.
withdrawn. Now
Thank you.
we're on order of business. Do we have things we need to add?
Yes, Mayor, we do have one add-on item to add. This is an add-on item regarding the rules and procedures for the council meeting after October 1.
Okay, I'm gonna show this added as, what's the,
It could be added as 11.3 on a consent without opposition.
is there any opposition to this? Okay, I'm gonna add it to 11 as 11.3, just so you all know that we're able to meet virtually because because of the governor's executive order, that long script that the clerk reads at the beginning of the meetings. The executive order is set to expire, and the governor has not renewed this executive order this time. And so we're not sure that we will actually be able to meet virtually in this way. So I think this is we're trying to actually put something in place so that this council can meet if the governor does not renew the executive order. Is that correct, Madam Attorney?
That's
Okay.
correct, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Clay, are you thirsty? Okay. All right, show it added as 11, as 11.3. Show it added as 11.3. I need a motion on the agenda.
Motion.
Motion.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of approving the agenda as amended, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, show the budget, show the agenda approved. We're now on to special presentations, of which there are none. Public comment on this meeting is now open. Public comment on this meeting is now open. Mr. Clerk.
Yes, sir. We did have two individuals who are called in that asked for public comment, Alan Flores and Stephen Johnson. So I'm asking the host to bring in 850-491-0000. And then we have a couple of hands raised. So maybe we can go with the hands raised first.
Let's go with the hands raised first. Okay. Ms. Higginbottom,
Yes, I'm here.
could you go ahead and give me your name and your address because it's a different meeting? And we can give you your public comment for the budget, for the city council meeting?
We're doing the public comment now for
Yes,
the
ma'am.
general meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir, thanks. Okay, my comment, I have some issues here that's going on in Lake Lucerne, and I'll make it brief. We're having a real code enforcement issue. When you enter Lake Lucerne from 27th Avenue and you on 207th, it looks nice on the left because whoever the owners, they're fixing up the apartments and it looks good. And when you get past that and you go to 2525 207, which is our corner store, I don't know what happened. It's beyond me describing how it looks. I don't see the code enforcement. I know that we have Corona and things are slower and all that stuff. But what's going on? Why is the front of our neighborhood look so bad? the garbage is not put in their what you call it, the bins for the store. The gates there are all ragged, look like there was a little accident and all this stuff, and people are starting to hang around there again. I thought that the store wasn't open. Then it's boarded up on one side. That's the other thing. And some graffiti. But when I found out, because normally I go to work, but I retired, so I don't go out there as much as I used to. So I was really amazed when I saw that. And I think something has to be done. Code enforcement got to get involved with some part of it. I don't know all the laws, but I don't think it's supposed to be allowed to look like that. It's a disgrace. Okay, number two.
Thank you.
Number two, I
Ms.
have
Higginbottom.
one more thing actually.
Ms.
I
Higginbottom,
just,
Ms. Higginbottom,
Excuse
your 2 minutes are actually up.
okay, that's fine, that's fine.
All right, but feel free to submit it via email.
Yes,
Okay, Ms. Reeves.
Good evening to all. My name is Mary Reeves, 1521 Northwest 168 Terrace in the beautiful city of Miami Gardens. Good evening again. Learn to do right. Seek justice. Relieve the oppressed. Bring justice to the fatherless. Plead the widower's cause. Isaiah 117. Exodus 22 and 23 verse. You shall not mistreat any widow or fatherless child. If thou afflict them in any wise, and they cry out unto me, I will surely hear their cry. Shame on the 3 largest counties in Florida, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach, regarding constitutional amendments 5 and 6. I have a quick suggestion or a question. Why can't we do wage concessions for the counties, state, and local municipality employees instead of cutting or trying to take away the surviving widows' benefit? We are still in a pandemic, must I remind you. Lastly, I stand with Lake Luzerne residents. It's them today, and it could be me and my community tomorrow. God bless us all. Thank you.
Jennifer Miho, I see you as there you go.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council and City Council people. I have a concern, and it kind of goes in line with what Miss Lynette addressed. It's about the convenience store. It is a really eyesore. It is filthy. And I know that in the city that I think a couple of years ago, it was implemented that if they had glass windows, the windows need to be clear and nothing should be in the window posted or taped in the windows. And those glass doors, those glass windows, the stuff is so filthy. I would ask if code enforcement could go by and see and talk to the owner to see if he can revamp his store, because it is, even the color that's on the convenience store is so depressing and dirty. We're trying to enhance our life in Lake Lucerne, and the apartment buildings are doing their job. The homeowners are starting to do their job. So it's time for that the store owner to do his share also and contribute as that way. Just take care of your store. That's all we're asking. Keep it neat, keep it clean, keep it presentable, and keep all those people that are standing and drinking in front of the store, they need to keep those people away because it is an eyesore. And my second concern is about the sidewalks. I live on 1731 Northwest 206th Street. And in my community, we have those big trees that they have planted on the close to the swale. and those big trees, those roots are tilting the sidewalk. So what if you walk on the sidewalk, you really have to be careful because you can just hurt yourself by just tripping over those the way it is right now. So I want to know who is responsible for fixing the sidewalk since we did not plant the trees. The homes came with the trees. And that's all.
Thank you. Esmond, I'm not sure what your Esmond?
Unmute. Thank you. This is Esmond. I am from 20829 Northwest 24th Avenue in Lake Lucerne.
Esmond, we're going to need your actual name, your whole name.
Esmond Adams is
Thank
my
you.
name. And I'm calling about a property that is owned by Miami-Dade. This is located at 20832 Northwest 23rd Court. It's an abandoned building, but it really detracts from the community, and it also allows for people to get inside. It's right behind my property, and I feel very unsafe with it there. And I'm wondering, what is Miami-Dade going to do with that building? It is not commercial, it's residential, and so from that perspective, it should not look like that. So I need Miami-Dade, who owns the property. I have the folio number. It's 341134-006-0300. Miami-Dade need to step up and fix that property so it looks presentable.
Thank you. Thank you, Esmond, Ms. Adams. We're going to Wanda Bennett now. Ms. Bennett?
Yes. Good evening, Miami Gardens council persons and officials. I reside at 465 Northwest 210th Street, apartment 204, Miami Gardens, Florida. I'm in the MacArthur Park at Misty Lakes area under the Councilman Reggie Leon. Hello, Mr. Leon, pleased to see you this evening. And I really appreciate all that you have done in our area with the walkway extension that is so nicely paved there for our residents. Going forward, I would like to ask, is there any type of funding, federal level, that is due to be allocated to the Miami Gardens demographic area here due to the pandemic? I would like to know, has there any funds been allocated on that federal level as well as the state level, considering our city here? And we are a city that is, you know, as you said, populated at over the 100 and something thousand residents with an income medium average at least of under 40,000. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mayor, we do have one person on, Alan Flores.
Okay.
We're bringing him on.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, well, originally, I was going to speak on agenda item 14.1.
Go ahead and
so
give us your name and address for the record first.
I apologize, Mayor. My name is Alan Flores, and my address is 1540 Cornerstone Boulevard, Daytona Beach, Florida. And I represent Halifax, a century of public risk. I do not want to waste the council's precious time, but I just want to acknowledge that I was here, but I understand that agenda item 14.1 is not on the agenda any longer. And that, so therefore I can defer my time.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Clerk?
Yeah, there are no more public comments, sir.
Public comment is now closed. Just a couple of things on the code enforcement stuff. I know the managers made some changes and making changes in code enforcement, but just to the residents, especially the ones who commented about code, I don't want people to think that they actually have to wait until council meetings, the second or fourth Wednesdays of the month, to actually tell us about code enforcement problems. We did something that was very innovative. I think we're starting to publish a whole list of the people who actually solve problems, the people who work here in the city of Miami Gardens for our residents. So it has their phone numbers and their email addresses, and ours also. Because what I want you to be able to do is actually contact them, not wait until a Wednesday, when you can just contact them when you see the problem. You can send them an email and they can get somebody on it. Now, a lot of times with code enforcement, you might think that it's not being addressed, but the code enforcement system is long and arduous, meaning you won't really know whether it's being addressed. We won't know until we actually put the folio in and see whether we have existing liens. And sometimes these properties have liens that are accruing daily fines, but the owners still don't actually address them. So it would be so much easier and so for us to act and help neighborhoods like Lake Lucerne is when you have these issues, email or call right away. Mr. Manager, we would have them call Joan Bispot or James Pogue or Benita Nelson or Craig Clay. And please, copy your council member and copy me. But I assure you, because I know that people do it and it works, we respond to these emails and we respond to these calls all the time. We have countless conversations and Zooms with residents about zone issues, and you don't have to wait for a Wednesday evening to get it addressed. So a lot of times there's this instinct that people have to actually come and they have to say something publicly if it isn't said. That's great for the audience, but for an answer and for someone to address the issue, you can do it anytime you want. And a lot of your neighbors are doing it, and we're addressing them daily. And I look forward to the manager. I know he's going to probably do a code enforcement sweep in the Lake Lucerne area. And let me just caution the residents of Lake Lucerne, because I had a Zoom meeting today with a young lady who was upset about something, a citation that she got, but her neighbors asked for code enforcement attention in the area. When code enforcement comes in the area and they give attention to all violations, not just the ones you want them to focus on. And so they will give warnings about some things, but some things require instant violation. So I just want everybody to understand that, because a lot of times people will call and they will want code enforcement attention and they don't realize that they're not in compliance. And so they'll end up getting a warning and a citation also. That's the experience that we're having right now, because we're getting a lot of code enforcement requests, and we will come out, and code is out every day despite COVID. Code is out, they are doing their job. But we will be arranging for a sweep over there, and we'll try to make sure everybody understands what their obligations are as property owners. And with regard to the federal dollars, no, there haven't been any federal dollars. I think, well, we got some money from the state. I guess the SHIP money we got enhanced from the state, and that might have came through the federal government. But otherwise, there are care dollars that have gone to the county that we're actually applying for. So we're applying for those dollars, but no, it didn't come directly to us. And it's not unique. Only cities over, I think it was 500,000 actually received direct funding from the federal government. So no city in Miami-Dade County received direct funding from the federal government, because there's no city in Miami-Dade County that was over the amount. All right, thank you. Mr. Clerk, where are we?
There are no ordinances on for first reading, no ordinances on for second reading, no resolutions, public hearing. We're on to the consent agenda. Item 11.1, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds from Councilman Reggie Leon's Public Affairs Special Events Account in an amount not to exceed $5,000 to provide meals for seniors and purchase COVID-19 medical supplies, masks and gloves in paren non-pro-tunc to May 6, 2020, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Councilman Leon. Item 11.2, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds from the special events account in an amount not to exceed $4,000 to support the not-for-profit organization providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date. And this is sponsored by Councilman Reggie Leon. Item 11.3, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Miami Gardens, Florida, adopting rules and procedures for the City of Miami Gardens meetings as outlined on Exhibit A attached here to, in the event that the Governor DeSantis does not extend Emergency Order 20-69, authorize the city manager, city clerk, and city attorney to take any and all measures reasonable and necessary to implement this purpose, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date. And this is sponsored by the city clerk, and that is your consent agenda.
Any motion on the agenda?
Motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, show the consent agenda adopted.
All right, we are now on to quasi judicial zoning hearing items and Jennings disclosures.
On Jenny's disclosures, okay, do the new council members know what Jenny's disclosures are, first of all?
Yes, sir. I explained it, Mayor, but you might want to just.
Okay, if you've spoken to somebody about the land use items that are coming before you, you need to actually say that you've spoken to someone about it. And you need to say that you can still remain in objective and impartial in making your decision. So I have spoken to people about the zoning items before us, and I can be objective and impartial in making a decision.
I as well, Mr. Mayor, has spoke with someone in reference to the zoning items, and I can be impartial and objective.
I also have spoke to someone regarding the zoning issues, and I can be objective and impartial.
I have spoken, I can be partial and objective.
He means impartial.
I mean impartial, sorry.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Clerk.
Would you like me to go ahead and read the script for the quasi judicial hearing, sir?
Could you do that? Let me ask something. Which one of these have been withdrawn?
We did receive an email that 13.2.2 Centerport Owner LLC, they requested that their item be deferred.
Okay. All right, I just want to, please read the script.
All right, we are now onto the quasi judicial portion of our agenda. All quasi judicial hearings have been noticed in the same manner at the same time and locations that quasi judicial hearings are typically noticed. All exhibits for any hearings were to be provided to the city clerk 5 business days prior to the hearing. All exhibits will be displayed on the Zoom platform during the hearing. The names of all witnesses who will be called by any party were to be provided to the city clerk 5 business days prior to the hearing as outlined in the notice. At the beginning of the hearing, the city clerk shall call each witness by name before each person speaks in order to swear in each person, establish the identity of the witness on the record, and obtain the witness's consent for the hearing to be recorded. Any witnesses who wishes to testify during the hearing and is not included in the previously provided witness list shall be sworn in after all witnesses on the list are sworn in. All witnesses providing testimony must appear by video conference. A computer with Zoom capabilities has been provided for those who wish to testify as part of the hearing but do not have the ability to remotely participate in the hearing by video. The mayor will allow for public comments using Zoom after the parties have concluded the presentation of their cases and presented their witnesses and before a vote is taken. All public comments shall be limited to 2 minutes. The mayor will also allow for cross-examination of witnesses if requested by parties to the proceeding. In addition, the mayor will request that the city clerk read any e-comments or emails sent in about the matter into the record. Please be advised that those comments standing alone are not sworn and do not qualify as competent substantial evidence on which the city council may rely. The applicants today have been given the opportunity to have a hearing on their applications when the city commenced regular quasi-judicial hearings, but have requested that they be given the opportunity to have a quasi-judicial hearing using this format. By submitting to this format, the applicant is waiving any objections to the fact that their hearing is being held using this format. And we already did gender disclosure, so I'll go ahead and read the first item, Mayor.
Yes.
Item 13.2.1, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Miami Gardens, Florida, approving the application submitted by Palmetto Terminal Corporation for the rezoning of the property located along Northwest 27th Avenue, just north of Northwest 163rd Street in Miami Gardens, Florida, more particularly described in Exhibit A attached here to from Agricultural and Utilities, AU in paren, to Planned Corridor Development, PCD in paren, providing for adoption representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing a severability clause, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the city manager.
Mr. Manager.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, there have been no changes to this ordinance from first reading. We still recommend the ordinance moving forward.
Okay. All right. Is it a public hearing on this item?
Yes, it is a public hearing on this item, sir. We do not have any pre-registered public comments, nor written communication, nor do we have anybody in the public comment computer downstairs.
Public comment on public hearing on this item is now closed. I need a motion on this item.
Motion.
Second.
It's been seconded. Comments and questions from the dais. Mr. Clerk.
Councilwoman Campbell,
Sorry, yes, I was muted. Sorry, yes.
Councilwoman Wilson,
Yes.
Councilman Stevens,
Yes.
Councilman Leon,
Yes.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris,
I vote yes.
Mayor Gilbert.
Yes.
The motion passes 7-0. And we are now on to the reports of the city manager, city attorney, and city clerk.
Mr. Manager.
Mayor, did we do 13.2 too?
We have to defer
Oh.
it, right? We have to actually defer this.
Yeah.
Sorry, my apologies,
Oh, okay.
Let me read the item to the record. Item 13.2.2, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Miami Gardens, Florida, approving the application submitted by Centerpoint Owner LLC for the rezoning of the property located at 20775 Northwest 17th Avenue, Miami Gardens, Florida, more particularly described on Exhibit A attached here to from R-25, multiple family dwelling residential to PD plan development, providing for adoption representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing for the severability clause, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the city manager.
All right, the applicant has requested that we defer this item. We need a motion to defer.
And I think you probably want to hear from Brian Adler so that he can ask about the deferral.
Well, okay, we can, but he did actually submit it in writing, but okay.
He did. I think it's just a time issue that he might want to discuss with with you. It's going to be deferred to an uncertain time period. I don't have a problem with that. As long as we clarify on the record that they have to re-advertise, re-notice, and do everything again if this comes back. And I have told them that a reasonable period of time to bring it back is 6 months. He's there and he can agree with that or not.
Okay, Mr. Adler.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. For the record, Brian Adler, law offices at Bills and Sunberg, 1450 Brickell Avenue, Suite 2300. Welcome to the new members. It's great to see everyone virtually this evening. Yes, we submitted a request for a deferral. We understand also that deferrals all are going to would likely have to be re-advertised based on what the city attorney had said. So we are requesting an indefinite deferral.
Thank you. Okay. This been moved and seconded?
Yes.
No, not yet, sir.
All right.
No.
Mr.
I move the item.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Clerk, questions, comments? Mr. Clerk,
Councilwoman Wilson,
on the deferral.
on the deferral, yes, sir.
On the deferral and not before 6 months, right?
Yes, well, they'd have to re-advertise it if it came back before 6 months anyway. It's gonna be like a brand new item. So,
Councilwoman Wilson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell,
Yes.
Councilman Stevens,
Yes.
Councilman Leon,
Yes.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Gilbert.
yes,
Motion passes 7-0.
Mr. Manager, for reports.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have a report. I just want to welcome Councilwoman Campbell to the city council. Thank you.
Okay. Madam Attorney.
Likewise, Mayor, I don't have an additional report, but welcome aboard to both of the council members.
Mr. Clerk.
Welcome to both new council members, and thank you for passing the item. I can't wait to see you guys live and in person.
Councilwoman Campbell.
Oh, I'm just want to say thank you to the residents of Miami Gardens, and let's go. Let's get into some good trouble.
All right. Mr. Stevens.
No report. Just want to say congratulations to Councilwoman Campbell.
Yeah, he's a veteran now. He was here for like 20 minutes last week. Congratulations. No fights. Okay, Councilwoman Wilson.
Yeah, I would like to say that I'm very happy to see how good of a job our code enforcement office really does. I've had an opportunity to work hand in hand with them, and the work that is being done in our city now and has been done is very, very evident. And as we go and we really start to push even more so to rise and exceed the level of being an all-American city, I'm looking forward to the residents' participation in assisting code enforcement in keeping not only our streets safe and clean, but from their front door to the street. Everybody needs to pick up the paper and make sure that we keep Miami Gardens clean and neat. So my report is that we are continuing the good work here in the city of Miami Gardens. Thank you.
Mr. Leon.
Welcome aboard, Councilwoman Campbell. And some upcoming events we'll be putting together, thanks to Dr. James Poe, we'll be putting together Keeping Miami Gardens Beautiful. So it piggybacks on just what Councilwoman Wilson said. So we have an opportunity to socially distance and help clean up our neighborhoods and keep our neighborhoods clean. So that's all I got.
Okay. Mr. Williams.
Yes, welcome aboard, Councilwoman.
Thank you.
You know, I'm really pleased with what Code has been doing. And I'm also really pleased with the direction that the city manager has taken. I am somewhat depressed as to how many car dealerships, repair shops that are starting to inundate the city of Miami Gardens. And I think that we really need to get a grip on this. I'm getting tons of calls as I drive around, just generally, not even looking for things. I see, you know, 10, 15 cars on properties. And I think we really need to look at addressing some of these things. Mr. Manager.
Yes, sir. I will follow up, Mayor.
Yes.
Mayor, I will follow up, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. That's it for me.
Thank you. Who did I go to next? Who didn't I call? Mr. Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to take this opportunity to congratulate Ms. Campbell on being our newest member of the dais, and to thank everyone for your words of comfort and prayer during this trying time that my family is going through right now with the loss of my sister. I really appreciate those words of comfort, and look forward to continually serving this city, man. So thank you guys for everything.
Thank you. I don't have much of a report. I would just like to, even in her absence, I think the last meeting was her last meeting, but I'd like to thank Lily Odom for her service. As I believe the first employee of the city, transitioning to city council, one of the people who actually worked on incorporation. Her service has been invaluable, as will all of yours be. It really is the collective voices of all of us representing everyone else that actually grows Miami Gardens, it transitions Miami Gardens. It makes it reflective of the place that we want. I'm happy to see the residents invested in code enforcement issues, because I used to say it all the time, and I still believe that we are the stewards of the place that we want to live. You don't have to wait. You can come to us, because there's no one who dislikes litter more than myself, except for maybe Councilwoman Wilson. And you know, the picking up of the trash, the picking up the limbs, I'll get out there and do it. So but we have to care enough. We have to care enough to call on our neighbors. We have to care enough to not throw trash out our windows. We have to care enough to insist that businesses in these communities look like the businesses would look if they were in other communities. And so when we have those conversations with people from a planning and zoning and building perspective, what we're really saying is we're not going to spend a second-class dollar, so we won't have a second-class facility. But we have to apply that as standard to ourselves also. That means if we want our property values to keep going up, if we want to live in a place that's nice, that means we have to all be committed to keeping it nice. And so I'm happy to see the residents in Lake Lucerne come out and speak up. Yes, we are going to give them attention. It is going to come, and it's probably going to be unpleasant for some people, but hopefully, because we do code compliance and not code enforcement, we're really just trying to get you to come into compliance. If you do that and you come into an agreement with us, we will work with you, but you have to be committed to the city beautiful. You have to be committed to this city. And so thank you all for your attention to that. Thank you, Mr. Manager. and code and everybody who's doing the hard work, but we can get this done together. I think that's all I have. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
So
Second.
you all be safe.